Welcome back to another episode of the Link podcast presented by Electra Link. I'm your host, Bree Pettit, and today's episode is another panel discussion. We have some of our San Antonio team joining us today to discuss the San Antonio market. Let's go ahead and get started by having everyone introduce themselves and share a little bit of their background here at Electra Link and the things that they're doing. Chuck, do you want to start?
Sure. Chuck Cassidy, Electra Link Senior Project Manager here in San Antonio. I've been with Electra Link 27 years as of June 2nd. My primary responsibility is make sure the operation runs smoothly, daily coordination of manpower, daily coordination of project schedules, and responsibility of my own projects as far as materials being ordered and delivered out to the projects on time, maintaining the project schedule and budget. That's basically a normal day, but there's always those interruptions in the day, like you got to stop and take care of this, or this truck broke down, or this person can't make that delivery. So that keeps it exciting every day.
Good. And you've always been at the San Antonio office?
I have not. Started in the Austin office.
Okay.
And, during that time, there was projects going on in San Antonio that Electra Link had. And so there was many days where we were running jobs in Austin and San Antonio at the same time. So it made life very eventful where you have meetings in Austin in the morning, meetings in San Antonio in the afternoon. But no, since 2013, I've been full-time in San Antonio.
Jason Peralez. I've been with Electra Link going on it's 2 years this August, and I'm the GM for the San Antonio and Austin office. In my role, I've got to make sure that operations is running smoothly, at both cities, and it's difficult at sometimes, because the traveling part of it and making sure that everyone is happy, right? So it's something that I enjoy doing. Previously I was a project manager. I got hired here to be a project manager. Enjoyed that part of the job as well. And so there was an opportunity that came up to get into the GM role, and I accepted, and it's been great ever since. And having, PMs like Chuck, and Josh and everybody, all the PMs that I've got, they're seasoned. They've been around for a long time. So it makes it easier for me, to not have to really worry about the bigger jobs because, they've got everything taken care of.
You've got a solid
Oh, I've got a solid team, both here in San Antonio and in Austin. And I can't, I appreciate them, everything that they do, on a day-to-day basis. They work hard, and it's a struggle sometimes, but at the end of the day, I know that I can depend on both, like I said, the San Antonio office and the Austin office. All the way down to the technicians. We've got foremen as well that have been here for a long time. So and that says a lot, about Electra Link. So and the communication's key between the guys in Austin. And so like I said, there's a reason why, we've got so many guys that have been here for a long time, and it's because, Electra Link's a great place. It really is. So.
And then we've got our newest member of the San Antonio office, Antonio.
Yeah, my name's Antonio Alvarez. I've been here at Electra Link for 3 months. I'm an AV sales engineer, and my primary role is to support all the sales team in selling AV, also to lend my expertise to anybody that needs it within the company as well. Just trying to get out there and just hustle, trying to bring more business here to Electra Link to show that we really are players in that realm too. The bread and butter has always been voice data, things like that. So we're trying to look forward towards the future. There's a lot of business here, San Antonio and Austin. I do a lot of traveling between the two, just trying to just bring any kind of opportunity to the table. My past history, I've done just about everything. Project management, project coordinator, designer, engineer, programmer, things like that. And now I'm doing the sales. So it's different in that sense, but I do like it a lot. I like to say I'm a people's person, so it's my job's fun.
Good.
Get to talk to a lot of people and get to entertain as well. Which is always a good thing. For me because I get to enjoy the fruits of that as well. But just to build relationships.
That's awesome. And when you were doing those past roles, was it all within AV?
All within AV.
All within AV. Okay, so you're the AV expert.
Try to be. Try to act like I know everything.
He is. In our eyes, he is.
Good. Yeah, that's definitely something I know we're trying to grow kind of in every area that Electralink is in. So that's awesome that you're here and welcome.
Thank you.
So similar to the Houston, Dallas, and Austin area, San Antonio is also experiencing significant population growth. I know that looking online, the city is working to meet the infrastructure and service demands required by a growing economy. How do you think that the growth within this area is going to affect Electralink's future business in the San Antonio area?
I like to say that oil has always been around. You always need oil. That's how we have everything, right? Technology is not going anywhere. Technology is the new oil field to me. It's something that I wish I would have discovered 20 years ago, honestly. I really hate that I didn't know about this field in my 20s. I'm not old, but I'm not young either. 42 years old. I'm getting almost almost halfway there. But honestly, I could have just imagined if I would have been doing this in the 90s instead of the oil field. I think my body would be a lot better shape right now.
Well, we've been doing it since the 90s. Me and Chuck have been, and you can see that. You can see our bodies are,
But y'all in way better shape than mine.
Yeah.
Me. I got a lot of aches and pains. It hurts to wake up every day. And I just think that's key right there. Everybody's always going to need something.
Yeah.
You look at the iPhone, they always got something new. I think people now are trying to slow down. Like, I don't always need the newest, best thing, but you always need technology. And now, one thing that I think COVID helped bring to light was how to use the technology even better.
Yeah.
Because we started to do video conferencing. That was like a huge thing before COVID. VTCs were huge, but during COVID and after COVID, you can't walk into a building without having some kind of conferencing system, some kind of technology, wireless, this and that. HDMI cables is ironically is now the new VGA cable. It's going to be ancient history. We're using something totally different now. It's crazy how much it's grown, and I think with the growth, just bringing more opportunities to do things like that.
Yeah. Would you say that since video conferencing has become such a big thing, is that kind of now a standard whenever you go to do an AV job?
I would say it is. The bulk of most AV work is conferencing.
Okay.
That's right now. It is. There's all kinds of technology out there, right? With more population growth, more schools need to be built, more facilities need to be built, more this, more that. So one thing that's in everybody's home that wasn't everybody's home in the 50s is a television. Now you have them for every room. Now you have it on your phone. You always need a TV. You always need some kind of video projection. So whether it's a projector or whether it's a TV or anything else that might be coming up in the future, you're always going to need that. You're always going to want to put your content on that screen. You're always going to want to push some kind of video out there,
Yeah.
So it's...
I think the younger generation, right? The newer generation, it's the audiovisual world is perfect for them, right? Because, that's all they're used to. They're just used to seeing, all of the, they've got an iPad, given to them at an early age, right? And so that's all visual stuff, right? And so going back, it's the new technology. The younger generation loves technology, and AV has a lot to do with the new technology, right? So it's exciting for me. I really enjoy the AV part of it because, when you go somewhere and you visually see like all of these displays and you hear, all of this noise, speakers, that are installed everywhere, and you go to a project and you're like, man, we installed that, and the sound and the visual effects and all that, I like it. And so that was one of the reasons why I wanted to push, the AV side, because I think it's the new technology. I think it's cool. It's exciting, and
I don't know. I see the city of San Antonio doing everything it can to
Sure.
increase technology market here. I mean, there's companies coming into Port SA. Boeing's increasing their technology presence there. What they need, along with technology, solar, OCI Solar at Port SA is expanding their facilities. So the city of San Antonio is embracing technology as well. Where years ago it was, and it's still, the data center market is huge here. Going away, that I see going away is the call centers. The large call centers aren't being built like they were back in the late '90s, early 2000s. And, the facilities are all changing different now that it's voice over IP. Everything is now IP based. But the city of San Antonio is doing everything they can
For sure.
to bring
I
technology and
agree.
new business into the city. So there's a market there for Electrolink to battle with all the other contractors.
Yeah.
I think it's in the top 10, I think, fastest growing cities in the United
It
States.
is. Yeah.
Well, we've always been,
Yeah.
we've always been up there. So, but yeah, there's a lot of people coming in, from other states to build buildings here in San Antonio, and you hear it all the time, So
Even the surrounding area.
exactly,
Seguin.
yes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Seguin 20 years ago.
Yes, it was nothing.
It was
It was
fun.
all pasture, and it was beautiful too.
Yeah.
Now it's like, it's not the
It
same.
definitely seems like the cities are all just they're
Exactly,
going past the city limits.
for sure.
now.
Yeah,
For
I
sure.
wouldn't
Which is
doubt that
wild.
over time you won't really see pasture going to Seguin anymore. It's like now you go to Austin, you don't see any pasture anymore. You see cities, small little suburbs. You got to go towards Bernie, somewhere around there, Marion, things like that, where you kind of see like a little bit of pasture.
Yeah.
So with all the growth, have you guys seen an increase, or have we seen an increase in our competitors? Have there been more competitors kind of popping up in the area?
I would say so. Yeah, I make it a point to where if I go to a supply house, I'll go and I'll look at all the what's in will call and I'll look and see who's all buying stuff. And before, you would only see 3 or 4, contractors there, and they were all the same ones, the big players here in San Antonio. But now, yeah, I'm definitely seeing, a whole lot more. I was like, well, who's that guy? Well, who's this, contractor?
Yeah, you go to a site walk at, say, Lackland.
Mhm.
You're in the visitor center signing in.
Yeah.
Holy moly, man! There's gonna be 20 guys on
Yeah.
this walk.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But the good thing is that, what I'll do is I'll write it all down. I'll write those names down. I'll start doing some research and
That's
saying, who are
good.
these people? Where are they coming from? Hey, what are their, and you got to have to, because you got to make sure that you're keeping up as well. You know what I mean? Because there's always somebody out there that's hungrier than you are. And you just got to,
You have to know who's in the game.
exactly. You need to know who your competitors are and what they're doing. And you got to do better than them.
Have you guys been seeing, or have you guys been feeling any challenges with the growth that's been coming?
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
Winning new business is
Yeah,
tough in this.
it
city.
is.
It is competitive. So yeah, challenge winning new business in my mind is really tough for us.
Yeah, because everybody's hungry. Everybody wants a piece of that pie, and they're willing to take this or that off just to get it, just to get the foot in the door, And I think most people who are hungry, they're going to take care of their baby. It's their baby, so they're going to be successful. Very rarely do I see people that are that hungry to undercut or just give a great deal in the beginning, not succeed somewhat. You really don't see a company's true intentions or true colors until after a few installs.
Okay.
Anybody can go out there and do like a bang up job the first time, second time, third time. All right, now we're gonna give you more work. That's when you're gonna see the capabilities.
Right? When they add that pressure.
When you add the pressure and the scalability goes up, it's like, okay, now I'm gonna give you 10 rooms. Knock it out. You've been doing a great job. Okay, we'll see. And that's when it starts to get rough. That's where I think Electrolink can separate themselves from other people. We have the right people in place to support the installs and support the service afterwards, to support the customers in every way that they need.
Talking about the challenges being competitive, I think the other part of that is Electrolink has a very tenured estimation team.
Yeah.
And with that, they know how to build a a really good thorough proposal and covers everything we need covered in a project. Where some of these new competitors that are coming into the market, they've got a young, inexperienced estimator working on the project, and maybe not someone overseeing their quote or their proposal before it goes out. And a lot of the customers just look for the best value, so to speak.
Jason, have you seen any challenges within the workforce or hiring people or finding good quality people?
Yes and no. I mean, they're out there. The good guys are out there. The good technicians are out there. But they expect to get paid.
Yeah.
Just like every good trade does, right? And to be competitive, we Electrolink they do a good job, at making sure that we do take care of our technicians. It's just that, coming in, with the expectation of, hey, I've done, I've got this amount of experience. I feel like I need to get paid this amount of money.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't work that way. You got to work your way up through the ranks, right? And so, there has been a challenge, but I think, we've done a really good job at identifying those challenges. So, for us here, we make sure that we're interviewing these guys and asking the right questions and making sure that, hey, if a technician that comes in, they're up to the Electrolink standard from the very beginning. And if they're not, then what we try to do or what we do is we make sure that we try to grow them, as much as we can, and it's really up to the individual. I mean, it really is. If they've got the motivation, the drive, and the motivation, they can do. They can move as far as they want up the ladder. But yeah, there's it's a little bit of both. So, would you agree, Chuck? I mean,
Yeah,
so
absolutely. If you're going to come in and be a slacker, you're probably not going to make it in the check. You want to come in and work hard, ask questions, show up on time every day, and be part of the team. You're going to get responsibility added to your daily tasks. But if you want to show up 15 minutes late, you want to forget your PPE every other day, it's hard to give you the responsibility. So
and it's harder on the AV side. You know what I mean? Because those technicians, they've got a lot of systems that they've got to work on and know how to work on, right? When it comes to low voltage cabling, it's pretty much routine, right? You put a pathway in, you run cable, drop it, terminate it, test it, and you're on to the next one, right? On the AV side, there's a lot of other factors that play into how, the equipment gets installed. So trying to find a good AV technician is hard, but they're out there, and so and if they're not, up to speed, me and Antonio were talking about this the other day. We need to start putting, kind of a career path, for some of our technicians, and we'll go through a process of, we go through the process of saying, okay, look, this is where you're at. This is where we want you to be. And this is where, you can be, right? So, the opportunity for not only low voltage, but on the AV side is great.
I think that's too something else that kind of makes Launchling stand out is the career paths that we do have just within our company because we have so many different things going on.
Sure.
And for whoever's listening to this episode, if you haven't listened to episode 1, that's all about the career journey through Electrolink and kind of how you can start out at the very bottom and you can work all the way up. It just depends on what you want out of it.
Exactly.
And what you're willing to put in.
Exactly.
So,
and I do believe that. And we do let our technicians know, and I know Chuck has mentioned it, and I mentioned it to the guys. I've gotten a green guy before, right? And I said, hey man, how many years experience you have? Oh, this is my first week doing this. It's like, okay, well, that's fine. Everybody had to start somewhere, right? We all started green. We all just didn't wake up one day and say, hey, I'm a project manager or a foreman or a level 2 technician. Now we all started with, the basics. And so, And that's, for me, it's like, it's a challenge, but it's one that I enjoy.
What are some types of jobs that you guys seem to be doing a lot of in the area? I know like Houston, they see a lot of industrial side of
Mhm.
things because they've got the onshore and offshore stuff over there. In Dallas, we're getting a lot more corporate stuff. There's a lot of distribution warehouse up there. What are some things down in San Antonio?
Great question. I mean, we do all kinds of, we're all over the place, right? I don't know, Chuck. I mean,
I'd say healthcare,
Yeah.
hospitals,
Okay.
distribution centers.
Yep.
If we're looking at just the past couple of years, higher education, we do a lot of work with UTSA. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention our customers, but the higher education market, the healthcare market, the data center market is not a lot of new business, but existing core customer business. We're doing that data center work, but yeah, as I mentioned, distribution centers. And another thing that's been out in the last couple of years, Wi-Fi upgrade projects because of new standards in the Wi-Fi industry. Customers are having to redo their entire, go to Cat 6A cabling and redo all their AP equipment. And it's been great.
I feel like we kind of already touched on what kind of opportunities you'd like to see more of. Is there anything that you guys want to add to that?
I think DAS, is the new opportunity that we've got, right? And so, for sure. I mean, just across all cities, but here in San Antonio, for sure. I mean, that's one of the new opportunities that we're going after. And I mean, we'll go after everything. For me, it's exciting as well because I mean, with our DAS team, right? I mean, they're doing, Electrolink is doing everything, to make sure that we do have everything we need to do the DAS installation.
Yeah.
And we're not just, trying to keep up, right? We're making sure that we are, the right, installer integrator for DAS. I mean, we're not just gonna go in this,
Blindly.
exactly. I mean, we're doing everything right, to make sure that we're, whenever you do choose us to do your DAS installation, that we're turnkey. We're not gonna let you down and say, hey, we'll come back and try to fix this later. No, we're making sure that we come in and doing it from the very beginning to the very end.
Chuck, so you've been with Electra for over 25 years. How long have you been Electra, or were you coming up on?
I just passed 27, so we're heading to 28.
That's awesome. Almost to 30. What are a couple of things that you've seen change your Electra within the past maybe 5 to 10 years? Has there been any big shift in the way things are going?
Within Electrolink itself, the big changes, yeah, an IT department, an HR department, those two alone. The tenure of the employees here, that part of the team is amazing because, you work so well with somebody and then you work that well with them for so long, you can, you're going to be successful. You don't, at least I don't think anybody comes to work going, oh man, I got to work with these turkeys today. No, I think everybody's pretty excited about coming to work every day here at Electra Link. And it's been that way that's been a constant the entire time I've been.
That's good. From a job aspect, have you seen a lot of changes in the type of way things are being done? I guess like on job sites, like maybe safety wise or protocol wise, has there been a lot of changes?
I can't say a lot of changes. I think as a project manager, I should say the responsibility and we watch the bottom dollar a lot closer today than we did in say 99, 2000, 2001. It was, yeah, we've got a solid bid here and we're gonna make money. Now it's, it's real time. We can get 20 boxes of cable delivered and the next day it's already that cost has hit my job. So that's a big change.
there's a lot of growth. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and the change is really it's learning. It's being on a team. It's being on projects where lessons are learned, right?
Mhm.
And that's how you really start to build, a team, or you build more of a standard or a structure,
Yeah.
for your department or for your group. I think Chuck mentioned you mentioned something about safety. I mean, our safety, team here at Electrolink, I feel is growing and getting, when I first started, 2 years ago, I can tell that there's, more of a difference, back then,
Yeah.
up to now, you know, um, and so, they're making sure that they're going to visit job sites and making sure that they're staying on top of everyone, right? The safety courses that we're having to take every month is very helpful. It keeps our technicians, our project managers, up to date on everything that applies to safety.
Mhm.
And that, like the other day we had a foreman meeting and I mentioned, hey, for us, for Electrolink, safety's first, you know, because, we want you, you know, going home the way you came to work. Just across the board. I mean, there's been a lot of, changes throughout the time I've been doing this, and
Yeah, the safety department has grown every
Yeah.
year and
yeah.
gotten better, and there's no doubt about it. And
So
it's great to have that support behind you.
sure.
Man,
Yeah.
during COVID, safety department was unbelievable, man. It was priceless. They were so on it. You have close contact issues. Guys have to have appointments to go get a COVID test, and they handled all of it. And it was, man, it was a big help. It couldn't have got through it without them. Trust me.
Yeah, they're on top of it. We've got one coordinator for us, Gene, which takes care of Austin and San Antonio, and he does a really good job making sure that we're getting all the information that we need.
That's good.
And
That's
he's
good.
constantly, on top of us when it comes to, hey, you need to make sure you get your training done. But everything that pertains to safety, he's on top of it. That guy is just, a really good, asset for us.
Antonio, can you talk to me a little bit about what you see happening with sales opportunities in San Antonio, or just kind of some things you think are really important when it comes to sales?
Sales opportunities aren't easy. You got to go out there and work for them.
Yeah.
The way I see it is, you got to do a lot of networking, you know, reaching out to a lot of people I used to work with, just see how things are going, not so much, hey, let's go have a lunch and let's just talk about business, it's to get to know them at a personal level as well. That's how I see, you grow a network, you build trust, you build some kind of rapport with that person and with that industry. It's a small one. It's huge, but it's a small one. Like I
Yeah.
can tell you, Infocom, I met a lot of people from here in Vegas, a huge place, and that convention center is huge, but I still ran into the people I know from here on a consistent basis. And they know everybody too. Everybody knows everybody. So, you got to build relationships. That's key. Networking in the AV world is not as easy as some would think.
Okay.
Because I may be talking with somebody that is my competitor, but it's someone that I like,
Mhm.
someone that I used to go out and have drinks with or go eat or whatever. So we bounce ideas off of each other, but there's a line that has to be drawn, right?
Yeah.
But you got to find that line, just so you make sure that you're protecting your company as well, your company's interests along with yourselves. Um, so I think learning how to do that and developing that is what bringing more opportunities because um, reaching out to the higher education, I work with them a lot here in San Antonio because I was a
Okay.
technician a while back and I did a lot of installs, so I still know these people. Reaching out to them, reaching out to just retailers and things like that I used to work with as well as a technician. Like, hey, now I'm doing sales. Now I can do this. Now I can do that. Keeping tabs with them. And then just GCs. I can tell you something personal about just about every GC company we work with because I know the people that well.
That's awesome.
So that's how I see the opportunities coming my way. Cold calling if I need to. just seeing what's up there, but because of the network I've been establishing just from my career period, I think that's what helped me already get going here. I wanted to knock it out the park like Paul did, but not everybody's a Paul. There's a unicorn over there. I would have loved to get a job like he did. But I'm trying to hold my own. I've already brought some opportunities, and it's because of past relationships. So networking is key. You can't network. You're in the wrong field. I'll put it that way.
San Antonio's for me, I feel like it's a whole lot. Obviously, it's a whole lot different than it is in Houston and in San Antonio. I mean, in Dallas, right,
Yeah.
and even in Austin. I mean, because I've been here so long, right, and now that I'm getting to see how things work in Austin, it's night and day, And for me, I see, you've got to have those tight relationships with general contractors, with the project managers that work for those GCs. Um, the owners, it's going back to the being competitive. Yeah, it is competitive, but if you've got those relationships, then some of that really kind of goes out the door, where they trust you, they believe you, they understand that, hey, you know what, if you're just transparent with us, not every installer, not every contractor is going to be able to knock it out of the park. But if you're able to bring that to them and let them know as, hey, man, we're going to be, on a tight schedule, we'll make it work. I'm just giving you, heads up, and they appreciate that, and I see it all the time. If you're just upfront about stuff, it works out. But yeah, relationships are key here in San Antonio.
So that kind of makes the San Antonio market unique from our other markets. Just
Correct.
having those relationships.
Correct.
And kind of long-standing
Exactly.
relationships too. Is there anything else that kind of contributes to what makes the San Antonio market unique from the other Electrolink locations?
I would say San Antonio is unique, mainly the military bases.
Okay.
A lot of businesses spun off of that work that comes out of the Joint Base San Antonio market. San Antonio has a lot of manufacturing, spins off a lot of work from Toyota plant to the Caterpillar plant, and soon to be the JBC.
JBC or JCB or
JCB. Another heavy equipment manufacturer. So those are some of the biggest. What I see is different, but I'm no market specialist.
Do you think that more companies are going to kind of establish their manufacturing in San Antonio?
They're mainly coming in Texas, and
Okay.
it just happens to be that Austin in a lot of ways is like a California, a lot of ways. You got Dallas there, that's real technology driven as well, and they're right next to each other. Right now everybody's coming here because of the taxes and the laws and this and that. You got more liberty here to run your company the way you see fit versus other places. But this is also central. We're in the middle of everybody. So it makes sense. Delivery times, networking, all that stuff. It's nice to be in the right location. So we got a lot of big tech giants coming here. So that's bringing more business as well. So.
What are some key things that you guys think have helped Electrolink to continue staying successful within San Antonio?
I think, Electrolink is a big company, but we're not so big that we can't take on new business and maintain our core business without making that core customer still feel that, hey, at any time I can reach out to the Chuck, the Mario, the Carlos, the Jason at any time. They know the phone's going to get picked up or the email is going to get addressed, and we keep on rolling with that core customer. So I think just having that mentality in our team that it's customer service, whether it's a project that a customer you've worked with for 20 years or a brand new project that you've got to, keep up with the schedule and keep that general contractor and that potential new customer satisfied. I think Electrolink has that capability and has proven that capability over the years.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's more of like what Chuck was saying. I mean, if you've got somebody that we're available all the time,
Mhm.
which makes, you know,
Makes PTO real tough.
what makes the customer, comfortable, right? That,
Yeah.
they depend on, they want it done, pretty quickly, and our team jumps on it pretty quickly. And there's nothing, since I've been here, we have not turned down anything, right? And
Mhm.
so uh, customer calls, we're right on top of it, and we want to make them feel as comfortable as we can. Um, I mean, a few weeks ago, we had a customer that it was a family friend of mine that called and said, "Hey, I need some help," right? And
Yeah.
I directed him to Carlos, and Carlos jumped on it within a few minutes of me telling him.
Wow.
And he jumped on it and made the phone call and already scheduled the work, to have it done within the next day or so. And that guy was happy. And what it is that it's going to lead to more work, right? And so we're making sure that we take care of everybody, as soon as we can.
I mean, you have somebody come out and work on your home, and you have let's just say air conditioning. I mean, it's going to be 105 today, so yeah, let's use that.
Definitely more AC.
And they have a really good technician show up. The next time you call for air service, at least I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I get that same guy.
Yeah.
I get that same guy.
Mhm.
And, tenure of our project management team here, the leadership team here at Electra Link in San Antonio and across the board, the customers, man, when they reach out, they know what they're going to get. They know they're going to get taken care of, and they're not afraid to say, "Hey, man, I dropped the ball. We're moving 20 cubicles this weekend, and can you get here tomorrow?"
Yeah.
They know the answer.
Yeah.
But they're,
It's always yes.
yeah, it's going to be yes. So makes a difference. I've heard stories where, like I said, we have a lot of relationships with networking with, electrical contractors that we do business with on, for these same customers over the years. And they're saying, "Oh yeah, we're over at, we're at Christus data center downtown, changing out all the RPPs because, company X has been doing it for 20 years and they're getting so big that they don't know who they're getting to come out and work on in their data center. And so we're in there now, we're doing, X amount of dollars worth of electrical work for them. And makes a difference. You get too big and you lose that tenure, you start losing your veteran employees, and they lose that faith in you. The
That
customer
trust,
will.
Okay, well, that is all the time we have for today. So thank you guys for joining today's episode. I appreciate your taking the time to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And anytime you want to talk, we're here.
And thank you to everyone for tuning into today's episode. I hope you enjoyed hearing from some of our San Antonio team and about their experience here at Electra Link and what they're seeing throughout San Antonio. We'll be back next week with a new episode. You're going to be hearing some interviews with some of our guys out on the job sites in Houston, Austin, and Dallas. So it's going to be a great episode. You'll get to see a little bit of the people who are actually out on the job sites doing the work day in and day out there. So it's going to be a great episode. If you've not already followed the Link podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, please do so you don't miss out on any new episodes. And again, thank you guys so much for listening to the Link podcast. I appreciate you guys, and we'll be back next week.